Hi, my name's Charlotte Tupper and I'm an artist in residence here at Oaklands Primary School as part of the SENsory Atelier project with Attenborough Arts Centre. Each session presents lots of different multisensory materials that link to the literacy book we're looking at the moment. In the session, there's these different ways in to support the different children's needs and abilities. So there'll be things on the floor, there'll be things on the table, there'll be things in boxes and tins that are kind of covered with fabric, so there's that element of discovery and exploring, so the students have to look and find themselves these different materials. So the room is set up in this kind of very particular way, which changes for each session as well. So that's kind of part of my learning, is seeing how the children are interacting in that space and how to push that a little bit further or repeat something that was really successful the week before. The students at this school have very complex needs, and the kind of mainstream approach of reading a story and unpacking its narrative just wouldn't work in this context, which is why the approach and the process that we've taken is using these different objects and different materials to really bring the story to life in a really different way. An essential part of this project has been the students feeling at ease in the space and able to interact and really kind of understand the potential of the different materials in their own way, with whether that be ripping something down off the wall or unravelling a whole roll of tape, or that really kind of learning through experience and kind of taking staff on that journey as well with it. So understandably at the start there were apologies or some resistance from staff, that kind of intervention, because it's a different way of learning than what was existing in the classroom. And gradually over the project, staff are now much more confident and don't intervene when those different types of learning are happening in the space.
So often as teachers, we know the purpose of children exploring and expressing themselves, but often we don't want to pull off the display boards or to rip up the toys because we're thinking about the cost or the implications of not being able to use that. But what's been so good about the SENsory Atelier is having someone come in with these resources and giving us that opportunity, giving the children the opportunity to express themselves. And that sometimes looks like ripping things or what we would class as destroying them, but actually for them it's such a meaningful, purposeful part of their development.
One of the things that's so fantastic about this project is the fact that it goes beyond what happens in the classrooms for the young people, which is amazing, but that there is a really strong element of teacher CPD, and for us as a school that really values collaborative planning amongst peers, having Charlotte be part of building a scheme of work which extends past her time with us and really got to the heart of what we want in terms of narrative being lifted off the page and being made meaningful for our young people. Charlotte absolutely embodies that ethos and has been able to work really skillfully with our colleagues and enable us to have a longer legacy for this project, which is really what its strength is.
The great thing with this project has been its longevity and the regularity in which I've been coming in weekly, which obviously enables to build better relationships with staff and understand kind of the school's philosophy and ethos in a much better way. I've been coming to the school for 3 months, and through that having conversations with staff and the senior leadership team as well, and getting to know the school, it's then understanding what is the legacy of this project. I mean, we were already delivering together at the start because of the nature of the students and how the school works, but what's been really great is after that first month is me and the teachers had a planning session together, and now we've planned the next term, and then it just makes that handing over to staff for them to then deliver this style of literacy easier and much smoother.
So we've really enjoyed Charlotte coming into our school as a visitor. She's provided lots of resources and ideas, and we've decided that this is something that we want to continue doing for our learners in the future. We're going to be working on a new book called We're Going on a Monster Hunt, and we're going to be doing some training with Charlotte also to show us how we can look at a book and kind of create all these sensory elements that go with it. We realise that our learners get so much out of it, and it has a great impact on their learning. So we're starting to move away from PowerPoints and take on more of a sensory theatre approach, bringing books into that, linking it to a specific book. So we're really excited at the moment to be working with Charlotte, looking at different books and receiving some training from her, how we can then plan our literacy sessions to meet the needs of our children with sensory difficulties.